Beverly Hills. Adrianna, very good morning to you and welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Mike. I'm so happy to be here.
Now, I hope it hasn't disturbed you too much to have to study Mr. Parry's performance at the office Christmas parties. I understand you've had a look at the video.
I have had a look at the video, and I know this is hard to believe, but I've actually seen worse.
Oh, well, you've seen much worse, Adrian, I'm sure about that. But the point is, I'm trying to get into the spirit of Christmas, to spread goodwill, to spread cheer. And my colleague here, who's also called Mike, by the way, much to my disdain...
Would you like to have that name to yourself, then?
Yeah, I would, actually. is going around telling people to watch it in the hope that I will be ridiculed and demeaned, whereas, in fact, I'm getting tremendous amount of admiration from people who, if they had the same confidence factor that I've got, would get up and sing at their own Christmas parties, but they're too shallow and they're too shy and they're too insecure to do it.
Well, I give you a lot of credit, Mike, because one thing that I try to get all of my students to do and some contestants on American Idol is show some passion and some guts. Yes. And I must say, my hat is definitely off to you, because one thing that I definitely saw was your incredible passion shining through. So I say bravo to you. I really say it's not too bad.
Thank you very much indeed.
And do you think there's any potential in there? Because obviously we have similar shows here. I'm not sure about the look that Mr. Parry's got, somewhere between Demis Roussos and Kenny Rogers, I guess. But, is there any potential, do you think, in his voice? Could you improve on it?
I definitely think that there is some potential. I mean, it's what I always say. It's whenever my students are singing at a bar, make sure when you're drinking, make sure your audience is drinking a little bit more. That always seems to help. But I definitely think there is some potential. What I saw in you, Mike, too, was a really nice connection with your body. I like to talk with people about the connection with their body and how they're really engaged in the song completely. And you definitely have that going on. So I see, a big career in your future.
Thank you very much indeed. It's very kind of you. Adrianna, what is it about singing that makes people feel better? Whether they're doing it themselves or whether they're in the audience watching somebody else do it. I mean, it's an expression of...
I don't feel better having seen that.
No, hang on. It's an expression of energy, of outpouring, which always makes us feel better. People don't sing to be sad. They sing to be happy, don't they?
Absolutely. I think what it is about singing, too, is, and it's interesting that you say that, because I just got off a Skype voice lesson with a singer that I'm working with in Hong Kong, and he speaks no English. Yep. And so we were having a double Skype with someone who was translating for him, and then I was translating my English back, and he was translating it in his native tongue. And the thing is about singing is that no matter where you are in the world, he was singing an American song. People connect, and he doesn't speak English at all, but he was singing this English song. So it doesn't matter where you're from, and that's the awesome thing that I get to do, whether I'm working on American Idol or I'm Skyping with students from all over the world. I get to work with people, and it doesn't matter where you're from or your background, or frankly how good you are, how talented you are. If it's something that you love to do, and if singing is a passion, then you have to express it. It's a very... it comes from a very deep place. And again, Mike, I really do. I mean, your passion when you sing, it's amazing. I try to get so many of my students to have so much passion. And I always say it doesn't matter. There's a lot of great people who have wonderful voices in the world. But if you don't feel something from them when they sing, it's practically worthless. For you, it's a visceral experience we have when we sing.
It is visceral, and I am known for my passion. The point you've just made there about even if you don't understand English, Adrianna, I mean, it's a fact of life as far as I'm concerned that John Lennon got rid of communism purely through his music. Once the Russian youth picked up on the Beatles and John Lennon decided this was the greatest sound they'd ever heard in the world, that was the end of communism, the end of the Soviet Union. They decided to pull the wall down so that they could get free, get into the West and
get some... about another 25 years.
And get some more Beatles music. Do you agree with me?
Well, I definitely agree that music can change the world, 100%.
Yeah.
And I think it's an incredibly powerful thing. And the fact that, again, going back to that I get to sit here in my studio in Beverly Hills and work with people from Australia, from China, from Austin, Texas, from Europe, from anywhere in the world, and that it connects people. And we get to, if you want to get deep for a second, we get to lay down kind of all of our BS that goes around in the world sometimes and really just honor the fact that we're all much more the same than we are different. And that I know for sure. And singing definitely brings you together. I mean, just watching your YouTube video, you know, everyone's singing together and having this fabulous time and really not giving a you-know-what about how you're sounding. It's just more about the experience of being together.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an amazing thing. I think if we had more of that in the world, I really believe that we would have more joy and more happiness and less of all the other crap.
And Adrianna, do you think, as much as you admire Mike Parry's passion, do you think you can show this to people as an example of how much passion they should have?
Good idea.
Is it of any use to you, is what I'm saying, I suppose?
No, I think that I definitely will use this. I mean, I think that it's amazing. First of all, I'm personally not a big sports, aficionado here myself, but the fact that I'm talking to you, right, and that I get to talk with you about singing, and then I could say, listen, here's this amazing sports broadcaster. He's done so much in his life, and he's getting up and singing in front of people. And I always say, life is really short, and just get up and do it. Don't give, crap about what anybody else has to think, and just go for it. So I definitely will use you as an example of someone who's living life to the fullest, because that's what I see when I saw you, truly.
Excellent. That is absolutely excellent news. Adrianna, you have absolutely sussed me out in a way that few people do. Well done. Thank you for coming on our show.
Do you not want to
well, thank
use
you
your...
so much for having me.
You don't want to use your James Bond line on it, do you?
Well, no, I don't think so. Adrianna sounds like a very, very sophisticated lady to me.
I'm sure she is. Adrianna, he was talking to several women last night and suggesting that they should have all gone down to a James Bond audition because that's how beautiful they were. And
to become Bond girls.